Hey everyone, I'm Jessica, and I'm here for another really cool solo review about a new game that I finally got to my table at a reasonable time. Usually, new arrivals come in and it takes me a while to get there. Not this time. And that cool game, which is really unique, is Tiwanaku. Da da da! I have the deluxe edition, there's also a standard edition, but this is a really fun puzzle sort of deduction game that is sort of a mix between Minesweeper and Sudoku. I enjoy both of those, so I was very excited to play this one. A lot of times, though, with these solo puzzle games, you kind of get to a point where you reach the end and you either got it right or you got it wrong, and that's it. And it's just a sort of a yes or no in terms of did I win or not. Not with this one, though, and that's what makes it really cool. So let's see what this does. So, got a lot of components laid out. Let's grab something to show you what that looks like. So, you are going to have a board that gets laid out. And it has rows and columns, and in each of these areas, you're going to have a terrain tile that can come out. And on top of a terrain tile, there can be a single crop tile. What do those look like? Let me show you. So some of the terrain tiles, you'll have 4 possible different types. They're going to look like this. And you're going to go around and you are going to determine what is out there as you sort of explore the area. There's a solo opponent who is also moving around who can potentially block you in, and they are gaining points because, yes, this is a game where you are actually competing against a solo opponent and tracking victory points on this handy board right here. So on here, again, you'll see the 4 different terrain types, and you're going to have a marker in each of these columns. So again, this can go up to 4 players. I have played it cooperatively, but I'm talking about solo here. So it actually pays to explore and find more diverse terrain types, because if you can keep your marker kind of going up at the same rate in each of these different areas as you're exploring, you gain more victory points. It does not really pay to just find all of the mountain tiles. As you go up here and you're not moving up in the other areas, you're just going to gain 1 victory point for doing that each time. So there's a lot of strategy involved just in figuring out where you want to move your Meeples, who are really cool, by the way. Again, these are the deluxe ones, but I'm really happy with how these look. They are really unique. There's different colors, and the different colors also have different patterns on them, which is always nice to make it very accessible to everybody. And what you are doing, though, let's just see the last one. I like playing with the blue. What you are doing, though, is trying to figure out what those terrain types are, and then also what type of crop is on there. How do you figure this out? So there's a couple cool things here. I'm going to get to the coolest in a second. But first, the rule book is actually really great. It's nice and big. It has a lot of great examples of how to play and how to figure these things out. You're going to look at the back, which actually has a full example that you can actually deduce from to try to teach you those concepts. I'm just kind of covering up the answers over here. I think they're faint and I don't think they would show up, but just in case. But basically it's showing you that there are different terrain groups. So the same type of terrain can be in a group of 1 to 5, so maximum 5. And crops are based on the size of those terrain areas. So, for instance, if I have a very small terrain area of 1 mountain tile, for instance, that is going to definitely have the level 1 crop, which is this delicious, wonderful little sweet potato. If I have a terrain group that has 3 tiles in it, I will have 1 level 1, 1 level 2, and 1 level 3 crop in it. And so on for the different terrain sizes. So if I have a terrain group of 5, I'm going to have 1 of all of the available crops in it. They can never be diagonal from each other. And every group, like I said, is going to have only 1 of each crop type based on the terrain tiles in it. It's really simple to get into, but it is very challenging to work through. I have had lots of trouble Even getting close to the solo opponent. I have gotten close. But figuring out that strategy and what to deduce is cool because, here we go, what's the coolest part of this? The wheel. Yeah, this is one cool wheel that is going to have a scenario disc in it. Scenario discs, there are a lot included so that you don't accidentally memorize where things are, for instance. So they're just going to look like this, which is going to have sort of your setup and how, especially for solo, how that's going to look. And there's a ton of them. And that will, again, help you not memorize what the answer is for these different scenarios. You might be like, oh, I know what, in this column or row, there were a lot of level 5 crops. Well, keep playing and get a different scenario disc. So how this works is that you have to load it in here. So this is actually a wheel that comes apart. I will show you how that works in a second, but let me just show you how this actually plays. So I have a scenario disc in here, and you are actually inputting the column and row from the board. So let's get a quick example here. Let's go up here. And let's say I'm looking at this space right here, right? So this is going to be the bird and, what is this, waves. We'll call them waves. The symbols are very different. I just call them some weird things sometimes because I don't know what I'm looking at. Anytime. So how would we do that is that we look for, it's already plugged in down here, but this part of the dial kind of moves around. So we'd go for there. Ooh, and let's make sure the windows should stay closed so you don't accidentally see any answers. And we were in the waves. So the waves, where are we? Right now we're lined up with mountain. Once you play this a while, you will actually know if you are going the wrong direction or not, like I am. Where are the waves? Here we go. See? I got it. No problem. It's actually hard to do for me because I have it backwards and I have issues, if you've ever watched my video, of pointing to the right direction. I can't do it. But anyway, so I would have that coordinate put in there. And depending on what I'm doing and what part of the turn it is, I would either say, what's the tile type? And that one, what is that one? That's the green. What is green? Grassland or plains? So that would be the terrain type there. Or I might be guessing the different crop that's there. And I would say, I'm going to say it's a level 1 crop. I don't know. I'm guessing here. It's going to be wrong. It's a level 2. So for that one, I would actually lose points for getting it wrong. But that would mean that I would get a level 2. Where are we? I get the level 2 and put that crop on top of that terrain tile. So each area on that map is going to have a terrain and a crop type on top. And that's it. And you're going through deducing, figuring out what these are, and it is really, really fun. I may not be that good at it, but I'm like that with a lot of puzzles. This one does feel unique. And again, that whole idea that you're tracking victory points is awesome. Because again, I'm not, some games I'm fine with having, did you win? Yes or no? Did you get the correct answer? Yes or no? That's fine. However, I do like having a little variety there. So the one thing that is different with this one than with other games in general is that this actually comes apart slightly so you can load in different scenario discs. So let me show you how that works and how it's actually pretty simple, not as fiddly as I thought, but you can be the judge of that. So to take it apart, you'll go on the front, and this is actually a little plastic screw. So we're gonna turn this, and I am just unscrewing this. It's gonna come out. We're gonna put that off to the side. From the front, you're gonna push that just a little bit to get enough room so that you can pull out the back part. That is just gonna come and pop right out. There that is. Make sure you don't lose it. And then normally you would just put a scenario disc in here. I have one already loaded, so I am going to just take it out just to show you how that works. Again, let's pretend we're putting in a new scenario disc. The only thing to keep in mind here is the orientation of it. So you're either gonna load it like this with the back side or setup facing the back of the disc, or you're gonna load the answer side with the front of the disc. So kind of red and red goes together. I like to load it from the back just so I don't accidentally see something that I shouldn't and memorize an answer. I don't think it's really that easy, but again, this is just how I do it. So I'm going to load it like this. It is going to go into, you can see all these layers back here. It's going to go right back here between the first and second layer in the back, if you can kind of see how that is going in there. Let me see if I can get a better shot. So that's going in there. And this doesn't have to be, I mean, this can be, again, I can, let's actually get it. I can turn it, however, there's no way that you have to do this besides just getting the orientation right. So we're going to push it in here until we can line everything up in the middle there. Oh, where am I here? There we go. I can see through it. I mean, it's there. And again, you want to kind of keep these windows a little closed so you don't accidentally do it or, see the answer. So then we are going to load this back piece in through the back here. That's all I'm doing. We're just going to push it in through here gently. And it usually goes in a little bit. There we go. Just pops in. It's in there. And then we're going to take this other piece and just screw it into the front. And it's loaded and done. We close the windows, make sure they stay nice and closed up. There it is. And then this will just rotate in there and you're done. It's pretty simple. It's easier to do when you're not doing it on camera, I promise. But that is Tiwanaku. I cannot get the pronunciation right. I have had to watch the video several times. And also, fun fact, I filmed this entire video and realized I didn't hit record before. So, I'm on top of things these days. But this is a really fun solo game. Again, I've also played it cooperatively, and that worked really well, so much so that we lost track of time and just kept playing through. Had a very late dinner that evening with my parents, but we had a great time, so it was worth it. So this is probably one of the more unique components that I've seen in games, and having a puzzle deduction sort of game that you do not just have a yes or no win condition is a lot of fun, and it's quite challenging with that solo opponent. So that is everything for Tiwanaku. I don't know, I may have pronounced it incorrectly again. It's fine, nobody cares. As always, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully you get some cool solo games to your table too. Thanks so much and take care. Bye!